With the release of Marvel Rivals, Marvel Comics has also introduced the new Marvel Rivals Infinity comic book series. Today we are doing a complete read-through of all 6 issues, so let's jump right in. Galacta, the strange daughter of Galactus, narrates the chaos engulfing the multiverse. Universes have collided, merging into a tangled time stream that has created new worlds and forced heroes and villains into surprising alliances and conflicts. The story begins in Tokyo, 2099. A neon-lit city caught in the aftermath of a multiversal rift. The web of life and destiny, a cosmic nexus connecting all spider people, is critically damaged. This crisis brings 2 key players into conflict: the Master Weaver and his bold apprentice, Spider-Zero. Spider-Zero proposes an audacious plan to integrate the web of life and destiny into cyberspace, claiming it's the fastest way to repair the damage. The Master Weaver, however, warns of catastrophic risks and insists on collecting enough chronovium to strengthen the web. Their ideological clash sparks the formation of 2 opposing teams. Spider-Zero is joined by Penny Parker and others who share her sense of urgency, while the Master Weaver teams up with Spider-Man, who prioritizes caution and long-term safety. The first skirmishes erupt with intense battles. Spider-Man faces off against Venom, quipping about Venom's foul breath, while Venom snarls that he killed the Spider-Man of his universe. Elsewhere, Wolverine claws his way through Thor's lightning, and Namor clashes with Captain America in a battle of raw willpower. Surprisingly, Bruce Banner, still in human form, aids Venom by disrupting Spider-Man's web-slinging, only to be countered by Luna Snow's freezing assault. Meanwhile, Doctor Strange suffers a brutal strike from Iron Fist, and Venom lands a punishing blow on Spider-Man, growling about his possessive connection to Peter Parker. Amid the chaos, Penny Parker is hilariously distracted by the adorableness of Jeff, the baby land shark, who launches his own small but spirited attack. Emotional stakes rise when Penny overhears Venom refer to Spider-Man as Parker. Curious, she questions Spider-Man about whether he has a daughter named Penny in his universe. Spider-Man denies this, and Penny realizes Venom's earlier boast about killing Spider-Man in his universe was a lie, as Venom has lost key memories. Spider-Man scolds Penny for being distracted in the heat of battle, questioning whether she truly understands the side she's fighting for. Penny remains steadfast, believing her cause is just. Watching from afar, Galacta hints at a deeper emotional revelation, noting Penny's mistaken belief that Spider-Man is an alternate version of her father. While this isn't true, Galacta is intrigued by what will happen when the truth comes to light. As the clashes intensify, Captain America leaps from a building, hurling his shield mid-air. Thor channels lightning into the shield, creating a devastating voltaic attack that stuns Wolverine. Captain America lands with flair, calling it a true voltaic union. Inspired, Penny and Venom attempt a combination attack of their own. Penny unleashes massive symbiotic tentacles, forcing back Captain America, Thor, and Jeff. She escalates further by choking Iron Fist and launching a symbiotic explosive that sends Spider-Man crashing through a building. The collapse buries Captain America, Thor, Jeff, Iron Fist, and Luna Snow beneath rubble. With the opposition subdued, Penny's team regroups, now consisting of Penny Parker, Venom, Namor, Doctor Strange, Bruce Banner, and Wolverine. They stand united, ready to carry out Spider-Zero's dangerous plan. The battle for the web of life and destiny, and the fate of the multiverse, has only just begun. Starting issue number 2, we pick up right where we left off. Penny Parker and her team have outmaneuvered Spider-Man's squad, trapping them beneath a crumbling building. Now they're on the move, determined to carry out their mission. Meanwhile, Captain America, Thor, Luna Snow, Iron Fist, and Jeff have managed to dig themselves out of the rubble. Spider-Man, however, is still stuck, frantically searching for a way out. Just as frustration starts to set in, Thor lends a helping hand. Teamwork saves the day. Now free, the team regroups to discuss their next move. Track down Penny's group and stop them. Iron Fist asks if Jeff can use his tracking abilities to find their trail. Eager as ever, Jeff enthusiastically agrees. But Thor bursts into laughter, doubting the tiny land shark's capabilities. Galacta steps in with a scolding observation. If Thor's goal was to make Jeff feel underappreciated, he's succeeding brilliantly. But Jeff doesn't need Thor's vote of confidence. He's already locked onto Wolverine's unmistakable scent and bounds off to follow the trail. Captain America and Luna Snow pause when they hear something unusual, a familiar song. It's one of Luna's own tracks from her last Platinum album. We cut to Penny Parker's team, and surprise, it's Penny blasting the music. She's singing at the top of her lungs, seemingly letting off steam. Galacta watches her curiously, noting the immense pressure on Penny as a teenage leader commanding such a powerhouse squad. Dr. Strange, Venom, and Wolverine, however, are less amused. They insist she turns the music off before it reveals their location. Penny sheepishly apologizes, admitting she couldn't help herself after battling Luna Snow, a star her Aunt May adores. Unfortunately for Penny, the damage is done. Thor arrives in a blinding flash of light with the rest of the team hot on his heels. Things heat up fast. Bruce Banner locks eyes with Luna Snow. Their last encounter didn't end well for him. An icy blast sent him packing, and he's not one to forgive and forget. Fury takes over as Bruce transforms into the Hulk, charging at Luna with a roar. Luna dodges, and as she does, calls him Armada's Chow. Spider-Man, caught mid-battle with Venom, quickly corrects her. That's the wrong Hulk. Hulk smashes through Luna's icy defenses, but before he can strike again, Jeff leaps in for a surprise attack. A water blast. Unfortunately, it barely phases Hulk, who swats Jeff across the battlefield like a fly. Captain America and Thor leap to his defense, shouting, "Hey, that's our teammate!" Meanwhile, Namor catches sight of Jeff being hurled and decides to follow. Penny and Dr. Strange are in hiding, formulating an escape plan. Strange warns that the next portal they step through will require them to stay connected. Losing contact could result in disastrous consequences, possibly even causing their forms to destabilize. As the team steps through the portal, Spider-Man, ever resourceful, shoots a web onto Strange's cape, hitching a ride into the unknown. Elsewhere, Namor approaches the disgruntled Jeff. The King of Atlantis is intrigued. In all his time ruling the seas, he's never encountered a creature like Jeff. "Why try to fit in?" Namor asks, "when you can rule instead. Will you join me and rule by my side?" Jeff's response, a grin, large, toothy, and unsettling. Starting issue 3. We finally see Galacta getting involved as she sets the stage with an update on the battlefield. Jeff, still reeling after being hammered by the Hulk, has secretly allied with Namor. Meanwhile, Spider-Man has been separated from his team while pursuing Penny Parker's squad through a portal, leaving him to face her team solo. The chaos begins as Spider-Man grapples midair with Wolverine while the Hulk, blinded by webbing, swings wildly. In the confusion, the Hulk accidentally lands a powerful hit on Wolverine. Spider-Man internally quips, pretending he planned it, but his moment of triumph is short-lived as Venom charges in, threatening to consume him. Just in time, a blast knocks Venom off Spider-Man. It's Penny Parker. She declares that Spider-Man's death isn't part of her plan. Venom, hurled across the battlefield, ends up near Dr. Strange, who is recovering after casting the portal spell. Venom notes they left Namor behind, but Strange dismisses the concern and urges Venom to rejoin the fray. Venom, however, trusts Penny to handle things on her own, and she doesn't disappoint. Penny sends Spider-Man crashing through a building and orders Hulk, Wolverine, Venom, and Strange to stay put while she takes on Spider-Man alone. When the others question her, she firmly reminds them that Spider-Zero put her in charge, and she's done with interference. Inside the building, Spider-Man struggles out from the rubble. Penny confronts him and drops a bombshell. She believes he's an alternate version of her father. Exiting her spider suit, she explains that she intentionally led him away from his team, using Dr. Strange's portal and Luna Snow's music as bait to talk privately. Galacta, narrating these events, wastes no time reminding us that Peter Parker is definitely not an alternate version of her father. Spider-Man, stunned, jokes about Penny being some sort of tactical genius. Penny responds that she learned from the best, prompting them both to blurt out names. Spider-Man assumes she means her version of him, but Penny surprises him by naming Aunt May. During their conversation, Spider-Man reveals he never knew his father, who passed away before they could meet. Penny shares that her father was far more stoic, and they bond briefly, laughing that it must have been an overly chatty spider that bit him. However, Penny gets back to business, questioning Spider-Man's allegiance and trying to convince him to join her side. She is devoted to protecting the web of life and destiny. When Spider-Man asks why his opinion matters, Penny hesitates. Before they can delve further, Penny ends their talk, quipping, "See you on the other side, Richard Parker," before launching Spider-Man back into the battlefield. Spider-Man lands near Thor, who is strategizing how to take on the Hulk. Thor believes he could win one-on-one, but wavers as Wolverine, Venom, Doctor Strange, and Penny also join the fray. Thor's doubts seem justified, but surprisingly, Galacta finally intervenes. She agrees with Thor, declaring the fight will be too much for him to handle. In a flash of light, she replaces Thor with someone stronger, Squirrel Girl. With her trademark confidence, Squirrel Girl declares, "I'm here to eat nuts and kick butts, and I'm all out of nuts. Just kidding, I'm never out of nuts." The scene ends with an explosive clash as the battle escalates to new heights. Issue 4 delivers some jaw-dropping twists as Jeff takes center stage with unexpected actions, and Spider-Man and Squirrel Girl form the most bizarre alliance yet. The story opens with a tense discussion between the Master Weaver and Spider-Zero. They're debating the fragile state of the web of life and destiny. The repair process has stalled due to the mysterious absence of a vital element, chronovium. Spider-Zero insists that integrating the web into cyberspace, led by Penny Parker's team, will solve their problems. The Master Weaver remains wary, hinting that something far darker might be interfering. Meanwhile, Iron Fist is searching for Jeff, who had been separated from the team after being thrown by the Hulk. His search is interrupted by a sudden attack from Namor, wielding his trident. Iron Fist insists he has no quarrel with Namor, but the Submariner is relentless. After a fierce exchange, Jeff suddenly arrives and seemingly rescues Iron Fist by tackling Namor. However, it's revealed that Namor and Jeff are secretly working together as part of a larger plan. Namor urges Jeff to lead the group to a designated rendezvous point. Jeff and Iron Fist regroup with Captain America and Luna Snow, with Jeff charming everyone, especially Luna, who shares a lighthearted moment by playfully petting him. Amid the chaos, Galacta checks in on her latest recruit, Squirrel Girl, who is still adjusting to the team. Elsewhere, Spider-Man is battling the Hulk, trading quips and blows. Spider-Man sarcastically mimics the Hulk's Hulk Smash catchphrase, only for the Hulk to retort that Spider-Man's catchphrase is just thwip. Spider-Man is confused, explaining that thwip is merely the sound of his web shooters. On another front, Squirrel Girl confronts Wolverine, throwing explosive nuts at him. Predictably, Wolverine shrugs off the attacks. With Spider-Zero's team gaining the upper hand, Spider-Man and Squirrel Girl decide to coordinate their efforts. In a creative combo move, Squirrel Girl hurls a nut coated in Spider-Man's webbing at the Hulk. The nut explodes, leaving the Hulk immobilized in a cocoon of webbing. Encouraged by their success, Spider-Man suggests targeting Venom next. Squirrel Girl obliges, unleashing a barrage of webbed-up nuts, taking out Venom, Wolverine, Penny Parker, and even Doctor Strange. Strange attempts a last-minute escape through a portal, but Spider-Man and Squirrel Girl, lacking time, retreat to regroup with the Master Weaver's team. Meanwhile, Galacta narrates Jeff's next steps. He successfully guides the team to the Stark Fujikawa building, where Penny Parker plans to integrate the web of life and destiny into cyberspace. Captain America rallies the group, declaring this to be their final stand to protect the timeline. A lighthearted moment ensues when Luna Snow meets Squirrel Girl for the first time. Mistaking Squirrel Girl for Thor, Luna jokingly asks if she's done something new with her hair. Squirrel Girl, uncharacteristically flustered, freezes, unable to respond to Luna's playful teasing. In issue 5, Penny Parker's team and Spider-Man's team clash outside the Stark Fujikawa building. Galacta watches the chaotic battlefield below, commenting on the fragile state of the web of life and destiny. She understands why everyone is fighting so desperately, but can't help rolling her eyes at what she sees as just petty concerns. Penny Parker still believes Spider-Man is an alternate version of her father. Namor and Jeff are plotting world domination. And Squirrel Girl, she's just excited about how cool nuts are. All Galacta wants is a good show on the ground. Squirrel Girl is brimming with confidence. She boasts that the barrier surrounding the Stark Fujikawa building is impenetrable. There's no way Penny Parker's team will be able to infiltrate it to plug the web of life and destiny into cyberspace. Captain America looks less certain, but Spider-Man cracks a joke, wagering his reputation on it. His reputation as a jokester, not as a superhero or a scientist. As if on cue, Penny Parker's team arrives, ready for action. The first strike comes from Doctor Strange, who unleashes his Maelstrom of Madness spell. Behind him, the Hulk supercharges the spell with a gamma charge. The result is catastrophic for Spider-Man's team. Luna Snow, Captain America, Iron Fist, and Squirrel Girl are tossed like ragdolls across the battlefield. Even Galacta is impressed, noting that no one seems to be capable of fighting back, except for Jeff. Jeff, the land shark, leaps into action, dousing Strange and Hulk with a massive water attack. Hulk, clearly caught off guard, bellows as he's splashed. Luna Snow joins the fray, using her kinetic powers to transform Jeff's water into ice, forcing Strange and Hulk to retreat. Luna and Jeff then combine their powers to erect an enormous ice wall, creating a barrier between the two teams. Taking advantage of the situation, Spider-Man's team regroups. Iron Fist begins to use an Atlas Bond, channeling his chi into Luna's healing abilities to restore Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl, still processing the chaos, reflects on the bizarre nature of the fight. She just hopes there's a reason they were all pulled from their timelines for this mission. Turning to Luna, she quips, "You know that I'm not Thor, right?" Referring to a previous joke. Luna just laughs, responding with, "I know, Thor has much better hair than you." Spider-Man, ever the opportunist, asks for some healing magic for himself and Captain America. Jeff eagerly obliges, playfully splashing Spider-Man, who recoils in confusion. "Why is your attack and heal the exact same thing?" he asks, baffled. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ice barrier, Penny and her team strategize. They know they need to act fast before their opponents can fully recover. Venom simply suggests injuring Spider-Man again, but Penny already has a plan, the classic fastball special. She turns to Hulk and asks, "Have you ever heard of it?" The scene shifts as Hulk grabs a struggling and protesting Venom, preparing to hurl him across the battlefield. Venom, visibly annoyed at being manhandled, demands to be put down. Wolverine, ever the team player, offers to take Venom's place with a mighty throw. Hulk sends Wolverine flying, but his enthusiasm gets the better of him. Wolverine rockets through the ice barrier, crashes through the Stark Fujikawa building, and bursts out the other side, leaving a gaping hole in his wake. Galacta, delighted by the spectacle, turns her attention to Namor. Hidden away from the battle, Namor and Jeff finalize their secret plans. Namor reveals his true goal, cutting this dimension off from the multiverse by destroying the web of life and destiny. Whoever controls the Chronovium will rule the isolated dimension, and Namor has been hoarding it inside of his trident, promising Jeff all the sardines he could ever want. Namor leads them both to a massive device as they prepare to execute their plan. Namor declares, "Once the web is gone, this world is ours." The final issue has a pretty interesting wrap-up to the story. Galacta's recap opens the issue by recounting the chaos on the battlefield, providing us with a vivid overview of the escalating conflict. Penny Parker, working on behalf of Spider-Zero, is focused on plugging the web of life and destiny into cyberspace. Her determination is fueled by her lingering belief that Spider-Man is an alternate version of her father, a belief that remains untrue. Meanwhile, Namor is making his bold play for world domination, joined by his surprising ally, Jeff the Land Shark. Now, Penny's mission takes her to the icy, treacherous Stark Fujikawa building, coated in frost thanks to Luna Snow's powers and her alliance with Jeff. As Penny struggles to scale the towering structure, she finally reaches the top, only to discover a massive machine, the key to completing her mission. To her shock, Jeff has already beaten her to the summit. Despite her surprise, Penny resolves to ignore Jeff and focus on activating the machine. However, her progress is abruptly halted when she's struck by a web. Spider-Man appears, pulling her away from the controls to prevent her from connecting the web of life and destiny to cyberspace. As Spider-Man calls for Jeff's help, Namor unexpectedly arrives on the scene. Even Galacta seems taken back by his presence. Namor declares his intent to destroy the web of life and destiny, a move that would secure his dominion over this reality with Jeff at his side. But in a dramatic twist, Jeff reveals he's been deceiving Namor all along. Loyal to his team, Jeff turns on Namor, delivering a decisive blow. Meanwhile, Spider-Man and Penny continue their intense confrontation. Spider-Man warns her that her plan could destabilize the timeline. Horned by her belief in Spider-Man's connection to her father, Penny insists she must proceed. Galacta finds herself debating whether or not Spider-Man should tell her the truth. The right thing to do would be for Spider-Man to tell her that he is not an alternate version of her father. but lying to her may serve the greater good of saving the timeline. Ultimately, Spider-Man decides he can no longer perpetuate the lie. He admits he might be another version of Penny Parker herself, or even her brother, from a different reality. The rules of the multiverse can get very confusing. He asks Penny to reconsider her actions and have a conversation instead. Penny, however, makes a bold choice. Exiting her spider suit, she slams her fist onto the control panel, activating the machine. Despite Spider-Man's plea, it is far too late. The damage to the timeline appears irreversible as reality begins to unravel. Just as chaos peaks, Jeff takes Namor's trident, which is imbued with chronovium, and leaps headfirst into the wave of energy above the building. A massive energy bolt surges through the scene and strikes the building. Spider-Zero and the Master Weaver observe the aftermath. To their astonishment, the web of life and destiny begins repairing itself through cyberspace, now strengthened by the chronovium infusion. This breakthrough reveals possibilities they had never imagined. As the energy subsides, Spider-Man and Penny share a moment of vulnerability. Spider-Man admits he also lost his father at a young age, a bond he and Penny now share. Jeff, meanwhile, approaches Namor with an apology for portraying him. Surprisingly, Namor accepts the gesture, acknowledging Jeff's reasons and granting him his respect. Galacta concludes the tale by noting that while the crisis in Tokyo 2099 has ended, the wider battlefield across the fractured timelines remains in turmoil. Scene shifts reveal other players in this fractured saga. Hela and Loki are in Ixgard, where Thor was transported to earlier in the story. A host of heroes, including Bucky Barnes, Black Panther, Black Widow, Adam Warlock, Star-Lord, Mantis, Groot, Rocket Raccoon, and the Punisher, are all facing battles of their own. The issue ends with a jaw-dropping reveal. Doctor Doom and Doom 2099 have been approached by the Fantastic Four, setting the stage for new and thrilling stories in the Marvel Rivals lore. Galacta's final words leave us with the promise of even greater battles and deeper mysteries ahead. If you like this kind of content, be sure to hit the like button, leave a comment letting me know which characters you would like to see introduced into Marvel Rivals, and if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe.